So today I thought we would talk about what we use to determine the health or vitality of the market, all in an effort to educate and empower buyers to use these tools on their own.
So we've taken this knowledge that we have and we've broken them down into three separate parts. First would be affordability, second would be supply and demand, and third is buyer sentiment.
Okay, so when we talk about affordability in relation to our market, we're talking about median income, median home prices, interest rates, all these things that play into whether or not a home is considered affordable. The Seattle median income is about $119,000. When you compare that to other big cities like San Francisco, New York, LA, we're still paid a relatively high amount. We're only slightly behind San Francisco, but our median home price is much, much less than all those cities. So when you're looking at something that's considered to be affordable, we're still well within that range when compared to other cities. The other big factor that comes into play is interest rates. If you're buying a house at $780,000 at a 3.5% interest rate, your monthly payment is going to be much, much less than an interest rate of 4.5%.
So next up we have supply and demand. Supply and demand can be sort of noted by a few simple topics. One would be our economic growth locally. With that, they need to see a projection of the future of how they can continue to afford to buy that home. Beyond that, we're going to look at local employment. So we need to make sure that there's people in the area that of course will be there to buy the home currently, but also in the future. So it seems like it's a good investment as far as employment goes. Also, employment is a good factor of local economics again. The third option that we're going to look at is the growth of people. We need to have continuous growth of people coming and going through the region to continue the market and help it transition through its growth period as well as stabilization.
So the third and final part of our little economics lesson is buyer sentiment or buyer confidence. This is probably the most nuanced of all factors in a market, but there are certain things that affect buyer sentiment and they have to be big because everybody has to buy into it. So geopolitical factors can make buyer sentiment lower or higher. Even interest rates kind of tie into how buyers think about the prospect of buying a home. Wars, financial collapses, those things all affect buyers' emotions or how they feel about wanting to buy a home. Now, because this is so nuanced, it takes a lot of interpreting to figure out what's going on with buyers. But this is the last factor that kind of affects how the other factors play out.
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
And those are the factors we look at when we're bringing you our market updates.